Hello everyone, I am Melanie Youngsmith, publisher of the Lansing Journal, and I'm here with Carol Shawarko, our managing editor. Yes, we just got out of another Thornton Township meeting. This one was better.
It was a little bit better than last time.
We're making progress.
Yes. We felt like things were a little cleaner, a little bit more on procedure for a meeting, so that was kind of nice to see.
We'll share some of those positives with you, but let's start with the negatives.
So, what's our first one?
I would say the first one is that the agenda really still does not have a lot of information on it. And so even as these trustees are voting to approve things, it's not really clear what they are approving.
Right. It's a bit short on details. For example, there was a couple of items to approve a conference. And it was like, well, you're not approving the conference. Are you approving attendance at the conference? Or you're approving the expenditure for the attendance at the conference? You know, it's supposed to be specific. We're supposed to know what we're approving here, what we're voting on, and things like that were not clear.
So we don't know who's going to this conference, what it's for, and how much it's going to cost. But it got approved.
But it was approved. Likewise, some events.
Right.
There was a set of events that got approved all as one big block, too, which we would probably prefer for those to get approved separately. And
with separate numbers.
Right. And we found out later on that some of the events there's no date, there's no venue yet, and it was not listed what these events would cost on the agenda. We did subsequently get some numbers, but...
So even the trustees don't know what they were approving in terms of these events.
Correct. So
those are areas that still need some work.
That was another similarity to last time and to the last administration, was that there was no call for discussion on any of these items for approval.
Well, there was one.
Oh, my mistake. Okay. But was there any discussion?
There was no discussion, but there was a call.
There was a call.
Yeah.
So after, like we talked about in the previous video, after every motion, there should be a call for discussion by the chair of the board, in this case it's supervisor, to give the trustees an opportunity to ask questions, say what they think, talk, give their opinion. And still, we don't know what these trustees are really thinking. So we're hoping that as the meetings progress, as everyone gets more comfortable in their roles, that there will be room for discussion. And, we've heard from some of the trustees, well, they don't want the meeting to go too long. Well, we want it to go a little bit. It's okay if it goes a little long. It can go for an hour, as long as we can accommodate some discussion in there.
Right. It should go just as long as it takes to get the business appropriately handled. Exactly.
And there was another similarity there was a little lack of reaction to some of the public comment.
That was tense.
It got a little tense at one point. Yeah. You can see later in the video during the public comment, there was a tense moment.
Janell Taylor had some she expressed some frustration with the ordinance that was revoked at the last meeting. And we expressed some of the same frustration. And she wanted answers. And the board kind of stared at her blank-faced for a minute before Supervisor Harris finally said something
after she said, anyone?
Good job, Janell Taylor.
Yes, way to go, Janell.
Yes.
Holding power to account there.
And Supervisor Harris did go into more detail during his report later on in the meeting, but it was tense because Janell is a member of the public, and she wanted her elected officials to reassure her or educate her or inform her about this vote, and they were not immediately responsive.
And we don't want to be having flashbacks to the previous administration. If anyone, and I know some of you out there have seen Tiffany Henyard's response to public comment, but it was a lot of that. We certainly hope that people feel welcome to offer public comment and can get a reply.
Yes. So those were similarities, places that we feel still need work. We're not the meeting police, but these are things we notice.
Correct. And the members of the board have said, we're still gaining steam. We're still learning how to do this. So, we certainly want to give them the benefit of the doubt and have some patience there. And on that note, we saw some differences.
We did see progress, yes.
We saw some progress from the last meeting. So the procedure in general was just kind of better.
We
things
started on
were a
time.
little bit more snappy. We
Almost.
started on time, 6:03. We'll
Okay.
count that on time.
Supervisor Harris arrived a couple of minutes early. Clerk Nesbitt arrived a couple of minutes late, and then we started soon after that.
Sure. So who knows? She might have been wrapping something up with her day or whatever. But it was nice to start on time. It was very
Refreshing.
nice. What were also some other differences that we saw?
There were items on the agenda about the tentative budgets that they wanted to approve the budgets tentatively so that they can be published online so that people can download them and review them in time for the public hearing, which is happening
July 22nd.
July 22.
Yes.
And so these items were listed on the budget, and then Supervisor Harris did provide some context for those three items. You know, he didn't go deeply into detail. You can't do that very much with the budget.
Right.
But he tried to provide some context to what the trustees were voting on tentatively.
He did. So he was offering top line numbers for each of the major funds, talking about what the numbers look like for fiscal year 26. If the fund had lost money, why did that happen? If the fund had gained money, what was the cause for that?
Right.
So that was good to hear and get that information, and we'll be analyzing those budgets more, and certainly attending the hearing on July 22, where members of the public have an opportunity to ask questions
Yes.
about the budgets.
Yes.
So before they finally go up for approval. There was one other kind of major difference, I think, from the previous administration that was noted tonight in some discussion afterward, and that was in FOIA requests. Freedom of Information Act requests. I had placed a couple and have been waiting for a reply.
We like information.
We do like to get some information. We're working in between meetings. And so I asked Trustee Byron Stanley, hey, any idea? I'm kind of waiting on this FOIA reply. And he said that they are working on getting through the backlog of all FOIA requests from the previous administration.
So you can imagine that would take some time.
The previous administration did not answer. Sometimes they just straight up didn't answer FOIA requests or said no. It is a legal requirement that they answer those. So Trustee Stanley said, well, yeah, we'd be getting sued left and right if we don't finish those. But it still is good to know that they're working on those. They're working through the backlog. He asked for my patience. So we will extend some patience there.
And the reason we've requested those FOIA requests is because we know there are questions that the public has about things. For example, Supervisor Harris's salary and the ordinance that was passed at the last meeting about how meetings should be run. You wouldn't think it would take a long time to get that information, but it does. When there's a backlog, it does.
When there's a backlog, it can take that amount of time to get that info. And possibly the clerk is new at, working through FOIAs, and there is a very specific process that has to be worked through. It's a legal process too. So that was interesting to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we remain cautiously optimistic.
Good characterization, Melanie.
But watch the video, watch the meeting, and see what you think. See if you have questions about what you observe happening, any differences or similarities, and feel free to put those in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, things that you notice about these videos. I think it's important for the public to continue showing up. And there were quite a few members of the public, not the huge crowds that were coming during the previous administration, but a good, solid representation of the public because they care about this community and
Yes.
they want answers and they want information, and that's important. It can't be up to just the media to hold our elected officials accountable. It's up to the community.
Yeah, so we're always interested to hear what you think, what your feedback is, what your questions are, too, so that we can go and ask them of the board if we're able to. So, yeah, please definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. And remember to like and follow. Is that it, Melanie?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Thanks everyone tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Appreciate it.
Well, yes, thank you.
I know why you come in the door.
You know, and that's my intention. Sometimes you just want to go.
We also gotta make sure you get and then we should we might be somebody I would.
Not now. Something to tell you right now.
That's how Jennifer and I got married.
The time is 6:03 p.m. I'm going to call this meeting of Thornton Township to order. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Avant? Here. Trustee Gonzalez? Present. Trustee Stanley? Here. Trustee Stubbs? Present. Supervisor Harris?
Present.
Commissioner Russell? Attorney Ladazinski?
Present. Let's have a quorum. All members being present, we have a quorum. We're now going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'm going to call Pastor Nathaniel Bowman for a word of prayer.
Our Father and our God, we came today to say thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
King, ruler of all. We thank you, number one, for waking us up this morning. We thank you for, again, being assembled together for the meeting of the minds. And we ask, as this meeting go forward, that you grace us with your presence and give our leaders and all these elected officials wisdom and understanding of how to run this township. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Let no one go leave here without a misunderstanding, but help us to understand everything that's going on. We pray. Thank God. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, we're gathering the list for public comment.
First up for public comments, Amir Shakur. You have 3 minutes.
Just one. Thank you. Good evening. Afternoon.
Good evening.
So, I just wanted to welcome the new administration in and thank you guys for just serving up until this point. My hope is that everything that we do in this group of talented and intelligent individuals is done with integrity. With that in mind, I just wanted to bring one thing to the attention of the supervisor and the rest of the members of the group, including the trustees. On May 29th, 2025, your highway commissioner-elect, Antoine Russell, posted a election post, which was an endorsement by the Southland Hispanic Coalition. The problem with the Southland Hispanic Coalition is that it's a fictitious organization. Not only is it a fictitious organization, but the endorsement was also a fictitious endorsement. Not only was the endorsement a fictitious endorsement, but the officials and everything right down to the details of the organization, including the phone number, was a fraud. I'll be willing to do a public apology if I am not correct about it, but at this point, I think that because of the problems of the last administration, I think it would be wise for Mr. Russell to offer a public apology. The Latino community on a local and all the way up to a national level is extremely challenged. And I think it is an affront to people who live in this community to post a fictitious endorsement from a fictitious organization that doesn't exist. I am very happy that Mr. Russell and everyone here is in place right now, and I do want you to succeed, but again, we have to do so with integrity. So what I will do is I will post the post and the information. And again, it's in your part, Mr. Russell, to issue an apology to the community. The precedent that we have to set has to be a precedent of integrity, and we will look for that for our leadership of the township. We hope that you will respond correctly. Anyone who wants public information about it, again, it will be on our website. It will be on the Thornton Township Citizens Action Committee, and I'll also put it in Dawn Politics. Have a good evening.
Next, we have Angela Russell. And we have 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Russell. I am a resident of Dalton. I also work with Envision Unlimited. On May 29th, our agency hosted an event at Dalton Park District to introduce free programs that we'll be providing for mental health services and outreach. I'm glad that we are partnering with Dalton. I also left information at our last meeting before our programs and mental health services. What we're trying to accomplish now is a Healing Happens Here event, which encompasses different modalities of healing and therapies that people can engage in. This event will be free to the community, specifically in Thornton Township. Unfortunately, the event venue that we had tried to secure will not work for us because they're not an all-inclusive event venue. So we're still working to try to secure an event venue for this community event that's going to be free to the public. The resources that will be offered will be mental health services, domestic violence resources, health, housing, legal assistance. This will be free for everyone in the community of Thornton Township to attend. And we're also hoping to be able to have food trucks to be able to highlight some of the vendors in our areas that people may not know about. I do have a proposal here if you're willing to accept what we're trying to accomplish, and perhaps you can give us some assistance on securing the venue. Our agency is a not-for-profit, and we do have a grant, so we have budget requirements that we want to make sure that we stay within. So any assistance that someone here could possibly give to secure the event venue for this, what we're trying to accomplish, would be greatly appreciated. And again, the services that we'll be offering are free. Thank you.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Bring us the proposal. Thank you. Okay, now we have Janell Taylor. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. Janell. Sorry, Ms. Janell.
Good evening. Let me apologize first. I really cannot hear you. I didn't have my hearing aid in, and when I do, I'm back too far. At a previous meeting, you repealed an ordinance that you had regarding self-promotion in the literature for the township, and I'm probably not stating it correctly, but I have a problem with that. I'm not understanding it, and I hope someone can give me more clarity on that, because it was a point of contention with the previous administration. Everywhere we looked, we saw her or her name. So I'd like to know why that was repealed. Why is it going to be, maybe restated, or what was the reason for repealing it? Do you understand what I'm asking about? Anybody?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we understand the question, and we will get back to you on that.
What did you say, sir?
We understand the question, and we will get back to you regarding the ordinance.
Tell me what you said, because I can.
He understands the question, and he will get back to you regarding the ordinance.
Would you mind providing your contact info, please?
Honestly, I don't know what you're saying.
She has it. Trustee Stubbs has it.
I have no information.
Thank you.
They asked for your contact information, but they said trustee Stubbs has it already. They said trustee Stubbs can get it to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's an answer that everybody would want, no, not just me. Very true.
And last, we have Al Kindle from Cook County.
Good evening, everyone, and how you doing? Supervisor and the rest of you, thank you for giving me just a couple of minutes here. We wanted to draw attention to a couple of important things that are happening in Cook County. The Board of Commissioners, they've passed a Cook County birthday health screening program. So if you are 40 and older, you get for women and 45 for prostate cancer. And your birth month, you get free screenings. And I have flyers for everyone here that gives the details and where you can call to find out the details of that information. And this past Father's Day, the important was, let's give Father's Day, make those important meetings when you're meeting on these events, a meeting of let's give help, let's give good help. So the importance of having those conversations. And you can call 211 for Cook County if you're having a mental health crisis. The other is, I have a flyer and the clerk has it, is that Cook County has implemented a $3 million pilot program that is to give home ownership assistance to home buyers, first-time home buyers that meet certain qualifications. And I have that, and the clerk has it. There's a job fair that's being hosted here at South Suburban College. It's going to be on Thursday, the 26th, from 10 a.m. till 2 at South Suburban College, for those interested in various fields. And so I have a flyer for those who are interested. On that same day, we have another flyer for those interested in working for Cook County. We have a job fair that's going to be downtown. So you get dressed in the morning and go there, and then you come right on down to the second flyer that has all the job information for those who are interested in working for Cook County, because it has all our various departments are going to participate. And again, county government is open to the public. Secondly, we have a job fair on health firing event, not us, but Adidas, and it is on June the 25th. That's here, it's in the city, but for all those who are interested. And then lastly, there is with an organization that works with us called Elevate, we have a clean energy homeowner energy assistance program that's going to be offered for residents. So then lastly, many of you may have received a flyer or a letter in the mail and it is real. Cook County has eliminated nearly 2/3 of $1 billion in medical debt. 2/3 of $1 billion in medical debt. Benefited 500,000 residents, and we did that with just $9 million, and we haven't stopped yet. And so we will give to the township here the link so that you can give it out to all residents so that they'll know that it's not a scam. It has a link, and then it goes to the video and explains how the program works in detail. And I want to thank you for these few precious moments. Don't forget, President Krackwinkle every third Sunday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. First Take a Day Break. She has her own radio show, and she's the first Cook County Board President to have such. And this coming Friday, with South Suburban Mayors and Managers, she will receive the Southland Warriors Award. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions? All right. I do have a complimentary ticket to a couple of other events for people who see me afterwards tonight. Thank you.
Want to announce the arrival of Assessor? Assessor Holden.
I saved this for you.
The next item on the agenda is the presentation. The next item on the agenda is the presentation of the tentative budgets for the 25-26 year. First up is the 25-26 budget for the general fund. For FY26, the general fund is projected to have $13,274,202, which is an increase of $3,110,304 over the previous year. The primary driver of this growth is the higher collection from the real estate and senior youth service levies. The main contributor is the adjustments for the real estate, like I said, and the senior youth levies. The general fund expenses totals about $13,865,475, which is up roughly $2.9 million from the previous year. And the primary driver of this expense is for a full repayment of Thornton Township's outstanding loan. The loan payoff is $3,342,922. Personnel-related costs across the board is roughly 4%. And other increases are expansion of services and the implementation of new initiatives across departments. Overall, this is a total planned balance reduction of $591,272. And when you look at this, the general fund budget demonstrates the Thornton Township continued commitment to financial stewardship, debt elimination, and enhanced community investment. By retiring this outstanding loan and preserving strong reserves, the township improves its long fiscal health while continuing to deliver high-impact programs and services across for its residents. The next budget presentation is going to be the Thornton Township General Assistance Fund. The General Assistance Fund revenue is projected to be $9,390,757, reflecting a decrease of $2.8 million from the prior year. The primary reason is the $2.8 million reduction in the GA tax levy. The projected expenditures is somewhere around $9.3 million, an increase of $2 million over the previous year, from an expanded community program to enhanced resident services. We have built into this a tax refund program allocated to return funds to qualifying residents. Once again, 4% increases across the board for the departments for cost of living adjustments. And then the budget also reflects costs tied to inflation and the growing community demand. Changes in the anticipated funds, the net change of zero balance in the fund for 2026 with the fund balance beginning of $18,282,409. The funds remain strong in a strong financial position and continues to operate with fiscal discipline. This reflects in-kind donations from Thornton Township Foundation and as well as the USDA and they both have recorded revenue expenses for the accounting purposes. For the FY26 general fund budget is underscores Thornton Township commitment to fiscal responsibility, community reinvestment, and long-term stability. Despite a reduction in revenue, the township will continue to deliver critical services throughout the township and launch impactful tax refund programs, all while maintaining healthy fund balances and prioritizing residents' needs. And the last fund, but certainly not least, is the Road and Bridge Fund. The FY26 Road and Bridge Fund is projected at $1.5 million, reflecting a year-over increase of $559,000. The increase is primarily driven to the adjustment of the tax levy and anticipated grant funding from Cook County. So we appreciate our county partners for the CDBG grant, which is worked into the budget at $500,000.
We're here for you.
Across the board. The increase is driven, we also have a modest increase of $37,000 used for road repairs and cleanups of the garage facilities. The Road and Bridge Fund anticipates a planned fund balance increase of around $4,000. For FY26, the beginning fund balance is $2.6 million, indicating a strong financial position and solid reserves for the department's ongoing and future needs. Those three are the three budgets, and we're going to make a motion to accept the tentative FY26. I'm asking for a motion to accept the tentative FY25-26 budget for the general fund as presented. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
A motion made to accept, to post the tentative, but to accept as presented the budget for the FY25-26 budget for the general fund. A motion made by Trustee Avant, seconded by Trustee. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. 5 members voting in the affirmative, motion passes. Is there a motion to accept the tentative FY25-26 budget for the general fund as presented?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 2025-26 budget for the general assistance fund.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made by Trustee Stubbs, seconded by Trustee Gonzalez for the motion to accept the tentative FY25-26 budget for the general assistance funds as presented. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Is there a motion to accept the tentative budget for FY25-26 budget for the Road and Bridge Fund as presented?
I make a motion we accept the tentative fiscal year 25-26 budget for Road and Bridge Fund.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Stanley to accept the tentative budget for the 25-26 for the Road and Bridge Fund, seconded by Trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next up is the approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting of May 27, 2025?
Motion to accept the minutes from May 27, 2025.
Is there a second? Second. Trustee Avant makes the motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting from May 27, seconded by Trustee Gonzalez. Clerk, take the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the approval of the minutes, the motion carries. Next up is the approval of the bills. I move that we approve the general fund, general assistance fund, and the road and bridge fund for the list of bills for the three continuous funds, the general fund, the general assistance fund, and the road and bridge fund. Is there a motion? I'm asking the motion to approve the general fund, general assistance fund, and the road and bridge for the
I'd
bill.
like to make a motion to approve the general funds, the general assistance funds, and the road and bridge funds.
Is there a second?
I second.
Trustee Stubbs makes a motion to approve the general fund, the general assistance fund, and the road and bridge fund for the bill list. Seconded by trustee Avant. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
trustee Stanley,
Yes.
trustee Avant,
Yes.
trustee Stubbs,
Yes.
Supervisor Harris.
Yes. 5 members voted in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next up is petition 9 on the agenda for new business. Is there a motion to approve the posting and publishing of the notice of tentative 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the township clerk to schedule and publish notice of the public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, to post and publish notice of the tentative fiscal year 2025-26 budget and appropriation orders for the general township fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the township clerk to schedule and publish notice of a public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Stanley, to approve and post the public notice of tentative FY 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the clerk to schedule and publish notice of a public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
trustee Stubbs,
Yes.
trustee Stanley,
Yes.
trustee Avant,
Yes.
Supervisor Harris.
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Is there a motion to approve and post the notice of the tentative FY 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township assistance fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the clerk to schedule and publish a notice of public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, to post and publish notice of the tentative fiscal year 2025-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township assistance fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the township clerk to schedule and publish notice of a public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025.
Is there a second? Second. Trustee Stubbs makes a motion, seconded by trustee Gonzalez, to approve and post public notice of the tentative FY 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township assistance fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the clerk to schedule and publish notice of public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stanley,
Yes.
trustee Avant,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
trustee Stubbs,
Yes.
Supervisor Harris.
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Is there a motion to post and publish notice of the tentative FY 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township road and bridge fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the township clerk to schedule and publish a notice of public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025?
I'd like to make a motion to post and publish notice of the tentative fiscal year 2025-2026 budget and appropriation ordinance for the general township road and bridge fund of Thornton Township, and to direct the township clerk to schedule and publish notice of a public hearing to be held July 22nd, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Stubbs makes a motion, seconded by trustee Stanley, to approve and post notice of the tentative FY 25-26 budget and appropriation ordinance for the Janell Township Road and Bridge Fund of Thornton Township and direct the township clerk to schedule and publish notice of public hearing to be held on July 22nd, 2025. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the approval and the motion passes. Next is the approval of township officials of Cook County Annual Spring Conference, June 26, 2025 in Oak Brook, Illinois. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve of township officials of Cook County Annual Spring Conference, June 26, 2025, Oak Brook, Illinois.
Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Stubbs makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Avant, to approve the township officials of Cook County Annual Spring Conference. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next is there a motion to approve the Township Officials of Illinois 118th Annual Education Conference, November 10th to 12th, 2025 in Springfield, Illinois.
I make a motion to approve the Township Officials of Illinois 118th Annual Educational Conference from November 10th through 12th, 2025 in Springfield, Illinois.
Second.
Trustee Stanley makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Stubbs, to approve the Township Officials of Illinois 118th Annual Educational Conference, November 10th through 12th in Springfield, Illinois. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Is there a motion for approval of the township events through August 2025?
Motion to approve approval of township events through August 2025.
Second.
Trustee Gonzalez makes a motion to approve Thornton Township events through August 2025, seconded by Trustee Stubbs. That consists of bingo, senior ice cream social, senior day at the water, senior day at the state fair, community parade, senior day with the assessor, and the back-to-school cookout, as well as the Taste of Thornton. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next, we're going to skip down to section 12, personnel. We've started our summer enrichment program. We've recently hired 13 new employees for that. That's going off well. We're very excited about that and excited about the progress that we made there, as well as the TAP program, which is the Thornton Assistance Program, where we recently hired for our summer employees 17 new hires with 10 more in the queue. So we're excited about our summer program getting kicked off, as well as our TAP program moving forward. Also, the summer enrichment program kicked off last week, which was Monday, June 9th, and will run until July 31st for our youth while they're out of school in the summer. And we have approximately 70 students participating in that program, which has been a delight. Next Friday, or this coming Friday, June 20th, will be our first weekly Township Day in the Park, kicking off at the MLK Park in Markham, Illinois, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And so every Friday it moves to a different location, but at the same time throughout the township, where we have a flyer with the dates and locations that can be found on the township website. For other upcoming events, we have the Juneteenth Father's Day event tomorrow, right here, Wednesday, June 28th, from 11 to 1 p.m. We'll be here at the township. In the event that it rains, we'll come inside. We plan on being outdoors, enjoying the weather if possible. We also are scheduled to participate in various community parades. We have Homewood 4th of July Parade, the Harvey 4th of July Parade, the Hazelnut 4th of July Parade, the Hazelnut Back to School Parade that's going to be on August 2nd as well. We have newly elected officials who have been attending trainings, some required by the state, others are voluntary. trying to learn and understand their roles as new elected officials. I'm gonna pause there before I go into other business, because I want to give a kudos and a job well done to all of the Thornton Township employees who worked so diligently and hard in keeping the township services going and progressing and available during our time of transition. I want you to know that your work and your efforts do not go unnoticed. So I'm very appreciative of how you guys have conducted the transition with the previous administration and this administration and increasing the services and moving the township forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for our township. It's a few items that I would like to address here now. One is about the second food pantry. There was a referendum that was in the township referendum that was advisory, and the township, we are exploring opportunities and options to see how we can form partnership with nonprofits to provide food assistance to residents throughout Thornton Township. We want to maintain that we remain fiscally responsible in doing all the things that we need to do to help provide opportunities for food insecurities throughout the township. Also, as it relates to the audit, it was brought to our attention at the last meeting. The previous board did vote for an audit, but there was no proposal for requests for proposal issued. So therefore, no firm was hired to conduct that per se audit that was in that particular ordinance. Also, was mentioned about the township website with having the opportunity to see what's going on throughout the township. They said that they wanted to make sure that things were presented in a better light. The township is considering to rebuilding and revisiting the entire website and the network to make sure that we have a more clear and concise way to communicate to our residents. Also, we were talking about the entrances. They're coming in through the west door versus the east door versus the north door. Because of security issues and space constraints, we are unable to accommodate opening up the west door at this particular time. But as time persists and we get things in a better working order, we'll revisit that. But the north door is open. We did make the accommodation to open the north door and the east door. So that way it shortens the walk and for the path for people that's trying to enter for the meetings. And the last thing, I don't know, I'm not going to say the last thing, I got something else to say. As regards to the question about the ordinance that was brought up earlier, the ordinance that we rescinded was merely because of the previous administration. That board thought that there was being some misuse of it based on the name, image, or likeness, or doing that. This board sees it differently. This board, we believe that we're going to maintain the duties of what we're supposed to do as supervisors and trustees to make sure that we consent and talk to each other about utilizing images being posted around for our own self-promotion. I have not put anything out without the consultation of this board regarding my image, and we're not going out here doing self-promotion, so we just felt like it was in the time when decisions have to be made and we don't have to call a meeting, that we can use that latitude to make sure that decisions are being made, and they trust my judgment, and I trust their input as well. So we're working collaboratively together to make sure that we hold each other accountable in that frame. So I wanted to make sure that question was addressed as to why it was done. And also, the last thing I would like to mention that due to the 30-day posting requirement of the budget, the next meeting will be July 22nd, because per law, we have to post the tentative budget that we just introduced 30 days for refinement for the members of the Thornton Township residents to be able to review. And those things will be posted on the website for your review. So, with no further business coming before the Township Board, this meeting is adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry. The time, sorry. I'm thinking I'm in consent committee. The time is 6:42, and I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Trustee Stubbs makes a motion to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Trustee Stanley. Clerk, please call the roll for the motion.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with all members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries and this meeting is adjourned.
I'm not.